Okay, just thought I'd do a quick introduction to a trip I did last week to Morecambe, which is a famous old holiday resort on the northwest coast of England, just above Manchester, about an hour away from Manchester. And it used to be very popular with people from Yorkshire because they built a railway line in about the 1850s across from Yorkshire to Morecambe. Blackpool was popular with people in Lancashire, but people from Yorkshire tended to go to Morecambe. It's called Morecambe Bay. It's this bay you can see here. Just above it, you've got the Lake District. Can move it down. Oh, too far. You've got the Lake District just above Morecambe Bay here. Isle of Man, where they do the TT motorbike races, is just there. And then Morecambe is basically here. Let's see if we can zoom in a bit. Okay. Yeah, so Morecambe is here. Fiddle. That's the Lake District. And this is Morecambe Bay. So yeah, I was staying in a hotel just here. I was doing a training course over in Lancaster here, which is just about 5 miles away. But we had a bed and breakfast looking out to the Lake District across here. It's about 8 miles across here, and at low tide the water goes right out, so you can walk across it with a guide. A very interesting place. So this is a little video. Yeah, and things to do in Morecambe. There's loads of performing arts. Like at the weekend they have cover bands for all kinds of cover bands, normally for older people because it's kind of an older person's place, although a younger person will have a great time. Loads of cycling, loads of walks to do. Very relaxed place. Good food at very good prices, so I'd recommend it thoroughly. Oh, and yeah, just here in Heysham, they've got this really old chapel. It's called St Peter's Chapel, and it dates back to like the Viking era. And they've got these old Viking graves. We just stumbled across them by accident, and it turns out like Black Sabbath used them on their album cover. I've included a photo of that, and then there's a nuclear power station right just above the chapel. If you walk up to the top of the hill, you can see this amazing nuclear power station, and then a view over to kind of the Isle of Man direction. Really, really nice. Really, really nice.
It wasn't Billy, it was Oscar.
Wow, it's Morecambe Bay.
There it is.
That's big, man. Yeah, you can see the water's gone out. It's low tide at the moment. This is Morecambe Bay, where about 15 Chinese cockle shell collectors drowned because they walked out into those sand dunes, and the tide comes in really quick here and they couldn't swim and they drowned. That was a few years ago. Yeah, so Morecambe Bay goes around there, and then the sea and the Isle of Man are just out there. We're going to go and look at Heysham just down there tomorrow, which leads out. It's where you get the ferry when you go to the Isle of Man. And Tyson Fury, the boxer, ex-world heavyweight champion, apparently he's just bought a house down there, and he runs along this seafront sometimes. There you go. Oh, that sunset. So this is the seafront in Morecambe. I'm recording over the original sound because it was quite windy. Really nice seafront, lined with bed and breakfasts, a few cafes, bars, but very quiet despite being in the middle of the holiday season. Here, these are cutouts of the hills and the mountains in the Lake District. We're looking across to the Lake District, so these cutouts are showing us what we're looking at. And then this is the brief example of the shops and the seafront. fish and chips. This is Eric Morecambe, the famous comedian. Got a statue of him. That was his stage name, Eric Morecambe. And then, yeah, this is the Midland Hotel, famous Art Deco hotel from the, when was that from? About the 1930s. It fell into disrepair, but it's recently been restored. It's got a wonderful view over the bay, and it stands on its own across the road from the rest of the residential places. Great views, nice restaurant, which was really busy, overlooking the seafront. Yeah, and then you've got a pier just in front of it. This is a really famous cemetery in Morecambe. It's really old. For example, oh no, 1915. That's not real. But there's things like there's an African servant that worked for a rich family is buried here. There's all kinds of things that just stood out to me. So that is the sunset. Tuesday the 13th of June 2017, Morecambe Bay, England. Oh, that's beautiful. It's so nice. So quiet. This is my little mission control. I've got Morecambe out there. I've got my workstation here. Homework. Oh, nice. We're in, where are we? Heysham. Near Morecambe.
I've got to get it right. If you say it wrong, you'll leave in a couple of weeks' time.
Lovely.
It's quaint, isn't it?
It's really nice.
Even that. It's quite impressive. You know, you wouldn't get that with, you know, in Avely, but it was. You know, the kids would have pulled it all down. I came back this way on the way back.
Wow.
I came in and it was really bright, and the way the contrast on it,
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Got a good view of the sea. It's beautiful. Is this an old church?
Yeah, oh, something on in there.
What have you got there, mate? It's not shy, is he? What have you got there?
Really bright, it was bright blue sky.
Yeah.
The contrast between the church looking down and all the brightness was dark on one side. It's really fun. Really good.
Yes. Wow, that's Morecambe over there, Lake District over there. Troughs here in the shape of bodies. Wow, man. That is so beautiful. Oh. Yeah, make sure you come to Morecambe. That's the chapel, 1,300 years old, the original chapel. And over here's the Isle of Man, and this is the port Heysham that goes where the boat goes out. And this is bloody hell. Well, that's a power station, and that is a huge, huge bay, blooming heck. What a beautiful place. And that, getting a tour from the owner of our hotel, the Craigwell in Morecambe. Really nice bed and breakfast if you fancy coming up to Morecambe. I recommend it. It's got some great history, some nice street art, great promenade, good food, it's cheap. Lovely, man. Yeah, and this guy's just offered to bring us out tonight. And that's the power station. One guy who works there is staying at our hotel. So 8 o'clock, I'm at the Palatine pub in Morecambe. Beautiful evening. Could be sunny, but it's not. San Miguel, $3.70 a pint. A little bit pricey, but nice beer. Lovely. Almost the end of my time in Morecambe. It's been really nice. Really nice. Come back here. Okay, so 8:10, almost a pint down. That is just beautiful. The Lake District on the other side. 8:10. Jesus. Yeah, I just noticed there's a flag fluttering in front of me that says Morecambe won the Seaside Award for 2016. It's a really fantastic destination. You can do so much here, so much to do and see. You've got the Lake District right over there. Tyson Fury lives just down there. You've got a 1,300-year-old chapel just down there. And the people are so friendly here. I just went in there to order a drink and a guy said, "Oh, try the local drink, see if you like it." And he let me have a sip of his pint to see if I wanted to have a local Lancashire brew. Amazing. Just really friendly people. The owner of our hotel last night took us out sightseeing after we got back from training. Just amazing. Brief encounter, classic movie. The station scene was shot literally 5 miles down the road in Carnforth. There's a museum there to David Lean, who directed that movie. It's supposed to be really good. Lancaster's just about 2 miles that way, 3 miles that way. Liverpool, Isle of Man's out there. TT races, I think they're on right now. The ferry is in Heysham, where that abbey was that we went to last night, just down there. There's loads you can do cycling trips all around here. Lake District is just across the bay there. You can actually walk across the bay with a guide. Great stuff. Yeah, and basically when the tide goes out, Morecambe Bay, which is, I think, from here to the other side over there is 8 miles, and with a guide you can walk across it, and there's a royally appointed guide. This is an old dukedom, and you get paid £15 a year, and you get to be the guide from your whole life, from when you're appointed until you die. And yeah, you take people across there occasionally, and you have to have a guide because there's quicksand out there. Lots of people have died trying to walk across it. And the king established the guide because he'd lost so many people and he couldn't understand why. Had a couple of San Miguels. I'm going to have one more pint. The Smuggler's Den, Morecambe's oldest pub. How about that? It's got a bit of place for it. Real fire. Smuggler's Den.
You alright?
Yeah, you're right.
Why are you taking pictures?
Yeah, so I've just been speaking to the lady working here. This is the oldest pub in Morecambe, over 400 years old. Smuggler's Den. I'm sure there's a lot of good stories that I need to read about behind this place, but very friendly. She just talked to me for 20 minutes. Lovely. Yeah, and this is Bolton Road. Oh, look at the rainbow. Look at that. Everything's working out tonight. This is one of the oldest roads in Morecambe, one of the most famous roads in Morecambe. The sea is just literally 300 metres behind these houses. Beautiful. Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. Apparently this pub wasn't called the Smuggler's Den. Originally it's had 4 different names, but it is the oldest pub here. And Bolton used to be a village which has become a part of what is now Morecambe town. And the people in there, the lady and the locals have been chatting to me, and it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
How do you want to do it?
Just carry on. Yeah.
There you are.
Oh, that's the coin in the bottom.
That's it.
And explain what that means.
Right, basically, in the days gone by, they used to drop the press gangs or the army when they were short of men. Used to drop a coin into the pint pot.
Yeah.
And if you touched it with your lips, you were press ganged or conscripted. So they started having glass bottoms so people could see, just see what was happening. And this is a modern reproduction with the actual shilling in the bottom to remind you of that. It's Queen shilling. If you take, even I think up until probably 20 years ago, if you took the Queen shilling, when you took your oath of allegiance, you took Queen shilling.
So basically, if you're in a pub and someone dropped a shilling into your glass, you'd have to go in.
Your lips touched it.
And your lips touched it, you'd be press gang, which means you'd have. It doesn't. Press gang sounds like something from newspapers, but you'd have to go into the army or the navy.
Yeah, round here is generally the navy.
Yeah.
So.
For how long? Like a year? Right?
Well, till you got out. I mean, how long were they press ganged for? Basically, they'd have you for at least that voyage, and it could be years.
Could be for life. Could be for years.
Absolutely. It's not fun.
That's not fun, but tonight's been a lot of fun. Oh, great bar. So in conclusion, Morecambe was fantastic. Really enjoyed it. Very friendly people. Lots to see and do. Cracking food. We obviously had bed and breakfast, so we had the food in the bed and breakfast. But then at night, you could have gone out to all kinds of restaurants. There's one, the Morecambe Hotel, I think, has got a fantastic reputation. The Midland Hotel, great reputation. So much to do there. In terms of walking, it would be a great place to do like a walking or cycling trip. Go up and down the coast and around the bay. You've got Brief Encounter, the famous movie by David Lean. The train station scene from that is filmed in Carnforth, which is just up the road. What else? Yeah, you've got the Winter Gardens, which was an old ballroom. They used to have saltwater baths in there and bars as well. It's a bit dilapidated now, but they've started to do it up. They've repaired the roof and they're starting to do shows in there. The Platform, which is an old railway station on the seafront, that's been revived. They've got performing section in there where they get lots of cover bands and performing artists. They've got a bar. They've got a tourist information centre there. You've got the Viking graves at Heysham, just up the coast, from the Black Sabbath album. Go and have a nice walk there. Sombo's grave, a bit further south of Heysham. There's this place you can only get to in a low tide. And it's an old, I think it was a slave brought back in the industrial days. That's pretty interesting. And what else have you got? Just a ton of stuff, and overall, very good value for money. Very friendly local people, and I'd highly recommend it to anyone. Trip to Morecambe. House prices up there are incredibly cheap, so a lot of people from the south have been moving up there. Okay, I think that will do for now. So Morecambe, thank you very much. Oh, and just to add, Morecambe was a series of villages before it became a town. It's only about 150 years old. It started out as a series of villages. There was Bear, which is now the posh end, Poulton, where the oldest pub in Morecambe is, near where our hotel was, and then another small village. And basically, the villages got bigger after the railway line was built. The villages the gaps got filled in between to the point where it became a town, and then it was named Morecambe. Don't know the reason why it was named Morecambe, but there's a lot of good history up there. And if you go into that pub, the oldest one, the Pirate's Den, where I finished off my last night, the lady at the bar can give you a lot of the history, and she can show you the old urn where they used to stick the coin in the bottom, which meant you had to join the army or the navy normally in the case of Morecambe. But yeah, all kinds of history up there. There's a David Lean museum, the guy that made the movie Brief Encounter. There's actually a museum for that guy up there in what's that place? Wherever the station is, just a few miles up the coast. You might see Tyson Fury, the boxer. Yeah, and just a stack of stuff to see and do, and highly recommended. Our hotel was £40 a night where we stayed. Yeah, but food, fish and chips you could get for a £4.50 a fiver. All kinds of things. The only thing is, I will say, it's not a lot of the places that serve food kind of open 9 or 10 and they're closed by 5. But there are places that are open later if you do like to go out at night. But yeah, highly recommend Morecambe. Go and check it out. You could drive there or get a train up to Lancaster and then a train or a bus across, or it's easy to get to anyway. But thank you very much, Morecambe. Really enjoyed my stay, and thank you to all the people that I met who took care of me. Super. Okay, that really is the end. Boom.